Maybe you're like me. I have no idea what's going on. There's tons of information out there, from all sides. Different information in rapid succession. And I am unable to form a coherent picture out of it. Sometimes breathing masks for protection are absolutely necessary, and sometimes they are just the wrong thing. Sometimes everything gets better, and sometimes everything could get even much worse. In China, everything is the same as before, or maybe not, and so on. And myself, well, I regard the so-called corona crisis sometimes as a blessing and sometimes as a curse. And that changes every 5 minutes. What does all this tell me? It can tell me two things. Either the reality goes crazy, which of course includes the media and all experts, the self-proclaimed ones, like me, myself, and those ex officio. Or the means by which I normally deal with the world are unsuitable. Of course, everything is going a little crazy at the moment, but I think the real problem is the second one. How do I normally face reality, the world? Well, I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm reading, I'm thinking, I'm feeling, I'm experiencing things. And I am creating an image out of these things. And this image has to be as stable as possible because it has to serve me. It has to be a functional image that tells me, aha, this is the reality and that's the way I can use it. We have been doing this for several hundred years, we human beings. Well, in the current situation, however, this approach to the world apparently does not work. No stable image emerges. We cannot control the situation, which scares us, of course, but it's not that bad at all, because about one thing we should be clear. Our old approach has brought about marvelous progress, but also environmental destruction, exploitation, hunger, turbo-capitalism, and so on. And it is clear to every one of us that we cannot go on like this. Is the corona crisis the interruption that we all secretly, unconsciously were longing for? We need a new approach to the world. When making images, we use our old experiences. Well, we do a new image every now and then, but always according to the same pattern. But a new reality cannot be adequately encountered with old patterns, because this repeatedly reduces the future that wants to emerge to what we already know and can utilize. And thanks to the current situation, this approach has come to its limit. Because we all have no idea, even if we pretend so, out of old habit. I suggest a new approach, an artistic one. What does an artist do? A painter, for example. He sees. He sees a landscape, a person, or he sees something in his own head or in his heart, a feeling, a mood, whatever. He sees. And that what he sees is transformed, it takes its way through his body, it slips into his hand and the brush and arises on the canvas. And the painter is guided by what he sees. Or an actor. An actor wants to play Hamlet. How does he do it? Hamlet is already in the world. He exists, but invisibly, until someone plays him. And it is the actor's task to get in touch with this invisible Hamlet and to ask him questions. Who are you, Hamlet? What do you want me, the actor, to do for you? How do you feel? What do you think? What torments you? Imagine, Hamlet, your father died, and suddenly he appears to you as a ghost. What is then happening to you, Hamlet? the actor has to ask such questions. And he's guided by Hamlet's answers. He doesn't make up the answers. Instead, he listens. Hamlet will tell him what to do. And then the actor tries to do it. The painter looks, and what is shown to him, that he tries to paint. And that is the same with composers and sculptors and dancers and writers, everyone. Artists are guided by what comes to them from the outside, by what wants to speak to them, by what wants to take shape through them. In other words, by the future, which announces itself, but can only become real through us. And with that we have arrived at the central secret of being human, our ability to listen and discover how the future wants to take shape. This is our middle position as human beings between the present and the future. If we try to make up the future, to make an image of it, the world will end up looking the way it does today, which is surprisingly inhuman, although we as humans work on it. But maybe we just haven't discovered yet what it means to be human. To ask the world what it wants from us, to reject our selfishness with which we approach the world all the time, so we can utilize it. Instead, to take care of the world, and thus implicitly to take care of ourselves, of course, because we're part of the world. Everything is already there, in the world, just sleeping, just hidden, like behind a veil. And the world trusts us, and wants us humans to lift the veil, and to reveal the unseen. Rilke asks in one of his elegies, are we perhaps here to say, house, bridge, fountain, gate, pitcher, fruit, tree, window, at the most column, tower, but to say them, to say them in ways the things themselves could never inwardly think they could be. Well, to call things by their names, so that they can begin to understand themselves better, that they can begin to recognize themselves in all their simplicity and beauty, because that is the outcome, sheer beauty. And only we humans can do this. Rilke says not even the angels can do this. We even have to tell the angel what the world is, so that he can recognize it. To unveil the world, to break the silent spell. But again, how can we do it? Not by making up a picture, and then clapping the picture onto the world like a template, but instead by hearing what the world wants to say to us, what the world whispers, and then give shape to that. And what does all that have to do with the corona crisis? Well, the crisis could be an invitation to listen, the opportunity for a new artistic paradigm. Thanks for watching.